Hey there, hikers! Today I'm going to show you 10 stretches you can do in bed. So first off, many of these stretches I don't think they have names, I just gave them names for the sake of knowing what I'm doing. But first off, we're going to start with what I call corkscrew. You're going to bend one leg, the other leg, you're going to pull this over and try to tuck your toes behind your leg like that. And then you're just going to flex, and you're going to feel that in the side of your hip. Now, I can do this pretty well on my right side, I can't do it on my left. It just takes time to slowly stretch this one out. So you're gonna hold this for a minute or 2 minutes. I would start with a minute with all these poses and then work your way up to 2 minutes for each pose. So if we're switching sides, I can't quite hook it around. So I can get close, and then you can kind of twist a bit, and you're gonna get a pull on the side of your leg and on your IT band. Your IT band connects up here. You can't actually stretch your IT band because it can hold about 10,000 pounds, about more than an African elephant. It's so strong you can't stretch it, but you can stretch the connective tissue where it connects on the top and the bottom. So that's the idea here, is just to kind of open up your hips and start stretching these bands out. So the second stretch we're gonna do, I call lazy frog leg. You're gonna bend one leg up, the other one over top like this, like you'd be sitting in a chair. Sometimes people sit like this. For me, this is a hard motion to turn my leg in. But if you're like me, this gets really tight, and then what we're gonna do is just rotate this over to the ground. And you can also open up your arms and get that kind of stretched out as well. And once again, hold this for 1 minute at first, and once you get more comfortable with this, then do 2 minutes on each side. So do the same thing on each side. Sometimes you might have to shift over so you're not going off your bed, and hold that for 2 minutes. For the next one, we're gonna do a simple bridge. So you're just gonna push up, and you can also tuck your shoulders and your arms underneath a bit more and start flexing up more. And you're gonna wanna hold this for a minute. And after this, what we're gonna do is take our heels and tuck them, walk them back up as far back as you can to your body, and then get them right next to each other, push them together, and then open your legs up, and try not to have them slide forward, have them stick. And since they're in a bed, they'll stick into the actual bed, and get that to open up. And then just try to open your legs up as much as possible. For me, this is really difficult. And then you can just feel your hips and your legs torquing back there and just opening up. It feels fantastic. And we're just gonna sit there, hold this once again 1 or 2 minutes based on what your level is. And this is, I call this the sleeping Buddha. So we've got the arch and then sleeping Buddha. So next up we have the laying soccer stretch. The traditional soccer stretch is like this, and then you touch your toe. We're gonna be doing this except laying. So definitely use your elbow to brace yourself when laying back like this. And the idea is to get this perfectly flat. Now, if you haven't done this before, your leg's gonna be up like this, and that's fine. Just work into it. Slowly your leg will be able to come flat like that. And we're just gonna open up our arms, deep breath, and just push all that right into the stretch here. So what we're doing is stretching the quadricep on the top. And you're gonna really feel the pull right here, going right up into the hip. And just try to really get 2 minutes on this side, or on this stretch, and then we're gonna switch 2 minutes on the other side. I don't actually have to go up to get into this pose, I just grab my foot and pull it. So do whatever's most comfortable for you. 2 minutes on this stretch. And from here, we're gonna go into the next stretch, which is a modified thunder pose. Now, thunder pose, I believe in yoga, is where you have your legs beside your body like this. But what we're gonna do is have our knees together and have your feet slightly wide, and then push that down. So it's similar to what I just did there, but most people won't be able to get into that laying pose from just putting your legs beside your body and laying down. But if you do this and push your knees together and push down, then you can slowly get down to this pose. It doesn't feel quite the same, because when you're pushing in like this, it actually pulls on your hamstrings a bit, or quite a bit. There's some tension there as well as on the quads, but it gives me a different kind of feeling. I can't really put my finger on it, but it does pull something differently though. If you don't like how that feels, you can do the other one where you just put your legs on either side like that, and then use your elbow and your hands to lower yourself back. You don't want to fall back into this pose. And this is going to take quite a bit of time to get into this, because there's a lot of stretching going on here. So essentially it's a double laying soccer pose. And just make sure to take some time and really brace yourself when you come out of this pose, because it does put quite a bit of torque on your knees when you're getting out of it. But I find this pose to be absolutely fantastic. So now to counteract that last one, because it does pull a lot, we're gonna flip over and we're gonna go into Cobra. This is a yoga pose, it's very simple. We're just gonna lay flat and push, just like that. And then as you get better at this, you can dig in deeper, churn your shoulders in, and then just push that up and look at the ceiling. You wanna do this nice and slow. You come out of it nice and slow. And once again, you want to hold that for 2 minutes. Our final 3 poses, we're going to need a belt or a strap, really anything that has some strength on it that you can pull. But a belt works fantastic because you can also adjust the length or whatever, you can have it in the different holes. And all we're going to do is hook it on our foot. And you want to get it right on the pad of your foot there. And as you get more advanced, you can actually go up on the toes and you'll get more of a stretch, but we're just gonna use that to pull, and then you can kind of cinch it up with your hand and find where it fits best. But basically we're gonna have our other leg bent and you're just gonna straighten your leg out. And that pulls your hamstrings. Just crazy. Oh. And the idea is you wanna go low until you can lock out your leg. And once your leg is locked out, then you would wanna unlock it, because you don't actually wanna be pulling it when it's fully locked like that. So you want to unlock it, which is just a tiny bend, and then with the tiny bend, hold that bend, and now you can pull your leg up. Oh, and you can basically use this to pull it this way, as well as trying to push your leg up. That's the idea. So you're holding this, pull and push up. Now to get more of a stretch, you want to lay your other leg flat, and that is where it's going to really start pulling like crazy. And once you get a good pull in there, then you just want to try to relax. Take some deep breaths and push that into the pain, and then try to just relax. And you don't want to lock out the leg, but you want to relax it. And then pull a little bit more and relax it. And definitely try to hold this for 2 minutes on each side. So we'll do that side. And just so you can see what it looks like on this side. So you got leg bent, pull it up, and then you can straighten out the leg. And that's just pulling crazy right here on me, right on the hamstring, a little bit on the side. And you can also, like I said, go on the toes a bit, and you can really pull if they're that flexible. But I would hook your toes like this to grab the belt, and that'll allow you to pull harder. And after 2 minutes on each side, then what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go a little bit lower on my foot, and we're gonna take it with this hand over top of the other leg, and we're gonna pull it across our body. And this is the single best stretch. I have a stretching routine now I've come up with that's around 40 stretches, and this is the best one, for me at least, because my lower back has so much pain. And this is the best one, the absolute best. Now the idea with this one is you don't wanna rotate your body over so you're like laying sideways like this. You want your hips to be square to the bed. And so the idea is get your legs straight, then rotate your leg over and try to keep this hip down. You don't want it to come off your hand. Now it's going to, and you're gonna have to like pull over a bit, but then try to pull your hip back so you're pushing it into the bed. And when you do that, and you straighten your leg, which is the tiniest, once again, tiniest bit of bend, so we're not locking it out, then you get this crazy pull on the side of your leg here. And that's all that IT band, the side of your quad, side of your hamstring, and right into the lower back. And actually pulls really deep on right in the middle of the lower back as well, and right in the glute medius, glute max. It's all that good stuff. And you can also take this hand and open it up. I try to spend as much time as I can per day in this stretch. So we've got 2 minutes here. We're gonna come back up, and then we're gonna go the other way. I find it doesn't matter if I'm floating over the edge of the bed, it doesn't really matter. And the same thing, and then you wanna pull it up this direction and towards yourself. So I actually need to cinch this up for myself. There we go. And for me, this one isn't nearly as bad as the other side. So we're gonna hold that for 2 minutes. So just a quick rundown to show on the other side. We've got the hamstring, pull, rotate over, and the idea is to try to push this hip down now. It's wanting to roll over like this. You don't want your butt up in the air. You want to rotate it down while keep pulling that way. So there's compression. And then that right there is just driving like crazy right there. And then once we're done, 2 minutes there, 2 minutes there. Straighten your leg out. And I need to cinch this up because I don't get enough pull on this. And we're trying to pull this up to our head. So give these 10 stretches a try and let me know in the comments below how they do for you. I find these absolutely essential. I have to do these every single day or I'm in horrific pain. So be sure to subscribe and like the video. And like the video for Boo, she'd greatly appreciate it. Until next one, have a great day. Yeah.